Hey everybody, welcome back to Times Books Beyond, and do you like waffles?
Yeah, we like waffles!
Do you like pancakes?
Mouth breather.
Oh, okay then. That's right folks, today we're talking about Stranger Things. The new season is coming out at the end of this week, unless I was slow getting this out, in which case it's out right now! But regardless, this is the Stranger Things book tag. This is a tag that I saw done earlier this month by Olivia from I Olivia for Books, and even though she didn't tag me, I figured that since I like Stranger Things so much and it's coming out pretty soon, this would be a great time to do it. So the first question is Epic Intro. The opening sequence of Stranger Things is amazing and really grabs your attention. Name a book that grabbed your attention from the first page. For this one I have to go with The Gunslinger, which is the first book in the Dark Tower series and has arguably the most famous opening lines of any Stephen King novel. The man in black fled across the desert, and the gunslinger followed. And I'm sure some people would think that those are way more mundane than some of their more opening lines, but for me personally, I felt this sense of gravitas in those lines, and I really felt that like this was going to be an adventure the likes of which I've never seen from Stephen King before, and it got me really excited to read the series. Question 2 is Dungeons and Dragons. You know, I've actually got a little cup of D20s back here, so you know what, let's grab this dice out of here. It's nice, it's all metallic with gold numbers, and let's roll it and see what I get. I got a 3! I don't know what that means in this context. Question 2. Name a fantasy world you would like to experience yourself. I imagine my answer might be somewhat uncommon amongst other people doing this tag, but I would love to live in the world of the Temeraire series by Naomi Novik. Now I should be clear, this is technically an alternate history because it takes place during and around the time of the Napoleonic Wars, but it's an alternate history that has dragons in it, and you can find the dragon eggs, and you can hatch the dragons, and you can see the dragons, and you can befriend the dragons, and you can train your dragon, and you will be riding the dragon, and you will be best friends with your dragon! So yeah, the Temeraire series. It would be neat. Question number 3 is squad goals. When 11 met Mike, Dustin, and Lucas, it was a mostly perfect team. Name your favorite bookish group of friends. Now, this answer might be cheating a bit because I technically saw these guys in a movie before I saw them in the book, but I'm gonna go with the villain kids from Melissa de la Cruz's Isle of the Lost. This is the prequel book to the Disney Channel original movie, Descendants, which is a hot mess and I love it with every fiber of my being. This follows the journeys of Mal, Evie, Carlos, and Jay, who are the children of Maleficent, the evil queen, Cruella de Vil, and Jafar, as they go around the island trying to track down Maleficent's staff. And the really interesting thing is that since this is a prequel, they're not actually friends yet. We see them being kind of chummy in the movie, but in this book, a lot of them can't stand each other, and it's only through going through the trials and tribulations of getting the scepter back that they learn to appreciate each other and like each other, and get to the point that we see them on in the screen. And so with this backstory and seeing how they were able to become a group of friends, it really helps elevate some of the stuff that we see in the first movie, and the second movie for that matter. Question number 4 is ABCs and Christmas lights. Joyce Byers goes mad with grief after Will goes missing. Name your favorite mentally unhinged character. The best answer I've got for this one is Henry from We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson. I've talked about this book before, and you've probably heard other people talk about it as well, so let me just give you the Cliff's Notes of it. This is about a boy named Henry, and everything in his life is going wrong horribly, and to top it all off, he's being abducted by aliens. But of course nobody believes that he's being abducted by aliens, so they all just think he's gone crazy. Really, the entire book is just a roller coaster of mental stability, and Henry either doubting everyone else or doubting himself when it comes to the situation he's in, whether he is or isn't being abducted by aliens, even though I'm pretty sure he was being abducted. But this, plus his general personality, makes him a really interesting narrator and a really likable guy that you are rooting for throughout the book, and you're really hoping that by the end of the story, he is able to find peace. Question number 5 is the upside down. Name a book that was the opposite of what you expected. What I expected from The Diviners by Lema Bray. Ooh, Jazz Age in New York! Everything's so flashy and wonderful! Let's all get drunk at a jazz club and do the Charleston! I'm a flapper! I'm gonna make out with a hot ghost and then punch an ugly one in the face! What I received from The Diviners by Lema Bray. America is a piss! Immigrants and minorities are constantly mistreated, white supremacists keep on trying to fuck everything up, we need to use our ghost powers to punch them in the soul! It was a pleasant surprise. Question number 6 is Mad Scientist. Dr. Brenner likes to get freaky with humanity. That sounds like a double entendre. Name the freakiest dystopian government you can think of. Now, to answer this question, let me tell you about Hex by Thomas Oldwayvelt. It's set in a town in New York called Black Spring that has been cursed by a ghost witch. If anyone who moves to the town or is born in the town tries to leave, they start to lose their mind and try to kill themselves. So they can never ever leave the town for longer than a day at most. You've also got to contend with the actual witch's ghost, who just wanders around town with her eyes and mouth sewn shut, muttering incantations, or spontaneously manifest herself in your house. Like, you'll just be having dinner and you'll turn to the side and you'll see this witch off in the corner and she's all like... And usually she's totally harmless, so for most of the book, the main antagonists are the town council. They are so concerned that outsiders will learn about the witch and show up and try and do experiments on her, or that even the own town residents will start messing with the witch and cause her to unleash her powers. They're so scared of the curse taking hold or being upgraded that they'll do anything in their power to stop people, and this goes way past the bounds of normalcy, because they'll have people jailed, or they'll have them flogged, or they'll have them like mentally and physically abused, and at some point other characters start to wonder, maybe this was the curse all along. Maybe her intention was just to get us to turn on each other, which is exactly what we're doing. Question number 7 is Demogorgon. Name a scary bookish creature that you would not want to come through your walls. Okay, now I know I said that for the most part it was the town council that was the scariest part of the book, but let me be clear, just because they're the scariest does not mean that the witch is not the scary part. Because let me reiterate, she spontaneously manifests in your home.
Jump scare!
And the final question is cliffhanger ending. I'm just kidding. The final question is actually cliffhanger ending. Name a book that left you wanting more. And I've read plenty of books that have done that, but for this one I have to highlight Pile of Bones by Bailey Cunningham, mainly because I wasn't sure I was going to continue this series until I got to the ending. For the most part, the book was not bad, but it was just kind of okay, and I was just kind of rolling along with it. But then the last 20 pages were such a flip, such a change in the game, that I need to get a hold of the next book in this series, or I'm gonna flip. And that was the Stranger Things book tag. I hope you guys liked that. If it was almost as good as the second season of Stranger Things, either I got really lucky or something went seriously wrong with them. Now on to tagging people. I'll be tagging 2 people for this one. I'm going to tag Brandy from I Ramble Randomly because I know she marathoned the first season so that she'd be able to watch the second season when it came out. I'm proud of you, girl, and I'm sure you'll like this book tag. And the second person I'll be tagging is RC from Neck of the Book Lock because he's cool. But of course you can do this even if I didn't tag you. Just let me know in the comments that you saw this and you felt inspired, and I'll go check out your own video. You can also feel free to like, share, and to subscribe to my channel, or of course you can check me out on Instagram and Goodreads because I have those. And as always, I'll see you all later.